Hi everyone, this is Balázs from RacingBrick and this is my second video about the brand new 10337 Lamborghini Countach set. In the first one you could see the unboxing, all the interesting details of the building process and the demonstration of the features. If you missed it, you can find the link below. Today we'll take a closer look at the finished model, especially from an accuracy perspective. To make this easier, I've brought a few things with me. The first is an alternative model of the 10295 Porsche 911 set, the instructions for which you can find on Rebrickable. It was designed by Firas Lego Cars, who has built many excellent cars over the years. A lot of people wanted to see the two side by side, so we'll get to that soon. The other car is based on a 3D model I found on Cult3D, you can find the link in the description. And how was it made? Allow me to tell you a little about this monster here. This is the box it arrived in. No, it's not a fridge, but the brand new Flsun S1 3D printer. It's a gigantic machine, just look at it next to my old trusty V400. It has a build volume of 32 by 32 by 43 cm, an insane print speed of 1200 mm per second, and a whole bunch of unique features. It really is ridiculously fast, as you can see. They've kept the Delta design from its predecessor, but changed a lot of other things. We have AI-assisted LiDAR calibration and error detection, auto-leveling, a built-in camera, a filament dryer box. It's a beast. Just look at that, a nice smooth benchy printed in 8.5 minutes. This piece alone has more than 300 grams of material and was printed in about 5 hours. I still remember the time when it took us more than an hour to print a benchy. However, you need special high-speed filament for this speed. I first tried to print it with normal PLA, that's the one without the support, and the surface is less smooth, it has a lot of imperfections. The one with the support is high-speed PLA and the result is much better. Unfortunately, we have to pay a price for this performance. This thing has a turbo fan on top that rotates at 40,000 RPM. That's loud. Very loud. If you want to know more about the machine, I've linked my detailed review below. It's on my second channel. Now back to the printed model. I apologize for the assembly. If you know of a smooth way to weld 3D printed parts without sanding and painting them, let me know, but I hope it works for demonstration purposes. So we have these three cars together here. Why exactly? What am I trying to prove here? Well, when the first pictures of the new LEGO set were released, there were already many negative comments. Then it escalated after my review was published. There were literally hundreds of them saying that this car looks nothing like the Countach, that is disproportionate, the front is all wrong, the side is all wrong, the rear is all wrong, nothing actually looks good here. Even the Speed Champions version was more accurate, the alternative model of the Porsche is 100 times better and more accurate and so on. I truly enjoy reading these, okay, not really, so I decided to take a close look at the models with my own eyes and then draw my own conclusions. Full disclosure, you don't have to agree with me, but what I show here is based on actual models and not photos, renderings, or my neighbor's second cousin's opinion. Also, I'm going to be a little nitpicky in this video because I wanted to check all the details of the model to see if the criticism is warranted. If you are happy with the look and price, buy it. If not, I recommend you watch the video. One more point before the show begins. This is an alternative model of this set, using only parts that are included in the box. This is real design magic, a great achievement, and I really admire how well Firas has managed to capture the essence of the Countach with these limitations. I want to emphasize that because I'm sure some people will think I'm trying to criticize this design. No, I am not, but I will also point out which of these two I find more accurate in certain areas, simply to verify the opinion of the masses. So, let's get started. First statement. The alternative build has better proportions and it is more accurate than the official set. I think that's about 85% wrong. If we put the 3D printed model in the middle and the other two here, you can see the differences immediately. This build is too low, I think the door is a bit short. Actually, the whole model is shorter, although it has almost the same wheelbase. The bulge above the front wheels is somewhat problematic on both cars. On this one it looks too pronounced, and here it's slightly lower than the middle section instead of being higher. I won't criticize the windshield and A-pillars here for obvious reasons, the designer used what was available, but this model is definitely more accurate. There's no windshield on the 3D printed version, so you can see the interior. The shoulders here at the rear are too wide, the air intakes are too narrow, and the whole engine cover is just different. Now let's see where this version is actually better. Firstly, there's the shape of the nose, which gets narrower from the front wheels. This model has tried to capture that with this section, whereas this one is completely straight. The angle of the nose is also slightly different, and I think this one looks a bit better in comparison, as the official one is a bit too steep. The other is the rear. First of all, this has the separately opening engine cover and the trunk, the other only has the engine cover. Second, the taillights and the surrounding area. Yes, the part usage is all wrong, but these were the red pieces available in the Porsche. But somehow the proportions still look better than here. I think this is the area where the LEGO model's inaccuracy is most distracting. The taillights are just way too big. It's difficult to see that on the 3D printed version because everything is white. This is the section where we should have the lights. Here is a photo that might help. As I see, the size of the brick-built lights and the middle section supposed to be the actual size of the whole rear end, including the lights and the surrounding white trim. These on the top and bottom are too thick, and the lights themselves should also be slightly narrower, leaving a wider white area in the center. This is something that is very difficult to achieve with the fixed size of the LEGO elements, but the fact that they made dedicated pieces to create this shape makes me wonder if a different solution with other new parts wouldn't have been better. So let's talk a bit about the well-captured parts of the LEGO set. I think the proportions are good overall. I like the wheel arches, the aqueduct is a great shape and size. I like the whole engine cover area with the vents and the wing. I also like the doors, although the separate window panels are missing. I think they were left out for stability reasons. You can put some bars in here, but they will flip around if you touch them. What I find really strange is the dashboard section. Many of you have said that the steering wheel is way too low, and that's true, and also those double slopes on the dash are wrong. The top here should be flat, with a box around the gauges. I understand that this part of the slopes is necessary because of the windshield, but maybe we could keep just the front part, raise this whole section with the steering wheel and gauges and make that part flat. Let's see what the modders can do with it. I've seen very different comments about the double rear wheels. Some people like them, others hate them. Personally, I think they are fine because, like I said, it allowed the designers to make the double-sided deep dish rims. When the set is on the shelf, you can kind of see or feel the fat rear tires, but you don't really see that there are two of them on each side. The best solution would probably have been to use two rims and mount a single new wide tire on them, but the usefulness of such a special tire in a specific size and width is questionable. After all, this is not a slick tire for Formula 1 where multiple models can use exactly the same tires. So, to sum up this part of the video about accuracy, I don't think there are any major body proportion issues with the LEGO set. The most disturbing part is with the taillights, but other than that, it's fine for me. Now let's talk about the price. The set starts at 180 euros or dollars with about 1,500 pieces. The Porsche 911 and the Camaro have slightly fewer parts, but are also $10 cheaper, and both have some advanced functionality with the rebuild options. Optimus has almost exactly the same number of parts and price, but offers significant added value with the transformation and two display modes. The DeLorean has about 300 more parts and costs 200 euros or dollars. Again, there are more parts, more features and more display options. Honestly, I think they should have left the Countach at 170 like these two. I see nothing to justify the price increase, and without the build options it could have cost even 10 euros less and not more. Remember, this is the official price on lego.com. Surprisingly, I didn't find any pre-order options at the usual European retailers, which might mean that the set will be LEGO exclusive for a few months, but I'm sure the price will get closer to these after that. You can already buy the Porsche for 125 euros, so we can expect this set to be available for around 140 for sure. Conclusion: I enjoyed the build, there are some cool building techniques and solutions, some useful new parts, and I think it looks good overall, especially when displayed like this. I don't like the rear part with the big lights, the dash could be more accurate and I wish the price was lower too. Time will help with that one for sure, if you wait a bit you can pay significantly less. Oh, and I really wish it was black with gold rims. But the most important question is, will Firas manage to turn this one into a Porsche? I'm sure he will try. So folks, let me know what you think of the set, let's talk about it in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video then please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe with notifications because there will be more exciting LEGO videos coming soon. See you next time, bye bye.